This action from round one of the Bridgestone production cars, proudly brought to you by Audi. And into the feature race, race number 2, double points, 17 laps, and extremely moist conditions. It's going to be a tricky one.
So a reverse grid based on the championship points so far. Interesting as they're going to the first corner, and already a tap.
Yeah, we saw this coming. I thought it was going to be aggressive in the early stages, and Simon Moss got all kinds of loose. In the Class T, Schosbauer losing the Golf and going and pointing into the inside there. That's got to be a bad situation, and that looks like a Henny Groenewald off on the grass as well. So all kinds of drama going into turns 1 and coming out of turns 2. Smallberger is on his roof, and Groenewald is way, way back, and I can see this is going to be a safety car, if not a red flag situation.
Interesting to note, did you notice how difficult he found it trying to turn that steering wheel?
Well, look at this. This is on board with Cooper. Cooper just trying to stay out of harm's way, and you could see that Smallberger looked like he'd caught it, and then he went firing into the inside. Here's the onboard, just could not catch it, lets go of the wheel at one point, tries to hold on, and he's just fired to the inside. A very, very similar crash to his dad from a few years back down at Cape Town.
So time delays right now, and the interesting thing will be, will they deduct a lap? I doubt that. They'll probably have a restart, and the race will continue 17 laps.
Yeah, 17 laps, full restart, and lucky for Simon Moss, he gets another bite of the apple off the front row, but you'll notice that Cronje not there.
So interesting. Moss leading out over his stablemate, Michael Stephen. This is going to be, and look at these treacherous conditions right now. It's going to be really difficult.
It is going to be very hard. The Rainmeister we saw last year, it's going to be all about Gennaro Bonafide. He's extremely strong in these conditions. As yet in this car, I haven't seen the form of Henny Groenewald, so I'm not going to take anything away from him. He is just amazing at every single format of racing. I think this is going to turn out to be an onslaught. 17 laps. It's going to be a true battle between the two Rainmasters out there in the Class A's, Gennaro Bonafide and Michael Stephen.
Yeah, we can't say enough about Bonafide in the rain, but the other master out there, Graham Nathan, that man can drive, and I'll tell you what, if that car does go sideways, he's invariably able to correct it.
I was walking through the pits, and the man that was out there doing the rain dance was Lee Thompson. Thompson loves these conditions, and in particular loves these conditions in his Mini. He seems to have that sweet spot set up.
So Van Rooyen chasing him down at the moment. This is getting really muddled in the mid-pack.
Yeah, that's Fourie. Fourie has really been battling. We know that the BMWs do find it hard to get the traction down on the back end because there's so much power going through those two rear wheels, and he has fallen back into the clutches of the Class Ts. Looks like he's going to be pulling off the track.
Little bump there, almost looked like it from Van Rooyen, but look at the Fords. They're back in motion at the moment, Dumity and Formato. And Formato, well, he was feeling pretty confident that the car could do something today.
Oh, look at that. These guys are just swamped,
on the right,
getting off the track there. That was Moss once again outbraking himself into turn number 1. That means everyone has to sweep around the outside. And confirmation, by the way, that was Fourie limping off the track into pit lane. So there are no, I repeat, no BMWs racing right now.
So Bonafide chasing down the other Audi S4 supercharged car, and the condition, look at them. They're having to fight their steering wheel. Visibility will be a problem. Some cars will fog up, and then that is going to cause problems.
Quattro system running 1, 2, 3, 4. We always see this in the rain, but the man that is desperate to get through is the man that runs in the 3 spot right now. Gennaro Bonafide, so desperate to get out there and get through on Moss.
You said Moss was outbraking himself, and he'll come to terms with that because, I mean, this is a big car with lots of power.
Yeah, I think he's just battling. He's missing his braking markers there. Pushed himself wide at the top of the shelf before the turnaround. This is all just holding back the Sasol Audis, and you can see the gap is growing.
Michael Stephen continues his surge and defending his championship. He's made history so far, Matt.
Yeah, it is going to be a very interesting start to the season, and it might be another case of Henny Groenewald getting to the top of the by the end of the year. But the rest of the guys will wake up. There are tracks where particular drivers and certainly particular cars come to the fore. There is Moss once again outbraking himself, and that just opens up the hole, and that was a pass that didn't have to be made. Both of the Sasol Audis going through, and Moss just pushing the front end way too hard, way too late on the brakes for the conditions, and loses 2 positions very quickly.
So we can't really tell the difference as they come down the parts of the racetrack between. Only the numbers are able to identify these cars, and Bonafide is out in front over his stablemate Groenewald. But in the meantime, Michael Stephen is on a charge.
Yeah, and Michael Stephen needed this as well, because he really battled for pace in the first race, and now he's got a chance of a double score in the feature length race.
So far, Michael van Rooyen's looking okay, and they will be delighted. So far, with round one, they're on the racetrack.
Yeah, I think the way that the Chevy Cruze sits on the track as well, it's very stable, very comfortable. We know that Lee Thompson himself as a driver loves these race conditions, and look at the shot here. Cooper all over the place, but Cooper's got a really good chance because he had a good finish in race number one, and if he can just bang in another top three, he's going to be well up there as we run down to round number 2 in Cape Town.
How did Michael van Rooyen stop that car going into turn number 2? And the other interesting point to make mention of, Vic Maharaj has made all the difference again to that team.
Gary Formato, by the way, he is back out there racing, leading this race, and it was a very kind Ford ST owner that actually donated a short shaft to actually get that car back onto the track.
Well, if I was that guy, I would have said, look, here's the car, use what you want, I'll deliver me a new one tomorrow.
Oh, man, onboard shot there, the Chevy Cruze, real close to Cooper. Cooper looked like he lost the back end. I think Michael van Rooyen backed out of that one, and that's the Chevy Cruze spinning, and that's Nathan. Nathan, going into avoiding action, goes onto the grass, buries it, and gets the thing back online. And that's not just grass, that's grass and rain and mud and zero traction.
And that's why he's reigning champion, because he drives like he can.
Yeah, that's going to fire him up as well. He came through. He's probably going to be able to close things down on Cooper, who runs in the 3 spot right now. But Formato doing a great job. It looks like Thompson is trying to set up on almost every single corner. I expect to see Thompson show the wheel.
I agree with you 100%, Matt. I cannot see Formato holding off this Mini right now, because we know he loves the conditions, and it's a really good car in the wet.
And just watch where Lee Thompson is able to position his car. He goes and finds grip. He goes absolutely anywhere on the track. These are not standard option race lines, believe you and me. He is just going out there finding traction.
So a little further back, Ryan Cooper is still circulating in that GTI, doing an outstanding job. But this is the focus in Class T.
Here we go.
Yep, here we go. It is Lee Thompson on the inside. Formato gave him some space, allowed him through, and now leading Class T. But will Formato have a little fight back up the hill?
Yeah, he's definitely going to have a fight back. But Lee Thompson, even though it looked like he ran wide and deep, he still had the momentum going up the hill. So he's able to still cover that line. And this should see Lee Thompson and the first of the Castrol Minis check out off the front now.
Well, this also might suit Formato as well, just being behind.
Yeah, the back end. Sorry, I had to jump in there. The back end of Thompson's car getting all kinds of loose at the top of the hill.
So we're on board right now. Michael van Rooyen in that blue Chevy Cruze and chasing down
Nathan. Nathan gets a drift show. Now, that's not a rear-wheel drive. That's not a V8 or anything. That's a front-wheel drive GTI, and the back end was hanging all over the place, and Nathan brought the thing back once again.
Yeah, he's going to be kicking himself. He hates it when he makes a mistake like that, but these things happen. But right now, Michael van Rooyen is still churning around the laps, looking for a race win. It would be ideal for him and the team.
Looking for Cooper. Cooper's still running up there in 3rd place, and there's around about a 2.5 second gap before these guys can actually join the party. There's our overall race leader in the feature race, Michael Stephen. Great to see the champion bounce back from a real poor result in race number 1.
Well, I would say a familiar picture.
Definitely. I mean, in these conditions, it's good to see him. We saw him the whole way through last year, and he controlled the championship very well. He took the wins when he had to. He took the losses when he could.
Yeah, Nathan playing it smart, saw Stephen come through, gave him a bit of a gap, doesn't want to get tangled up in that mess. He's got his own battle with Class T at the moment.
The good thing is all these guys taking a hit 1 lap back, they won't have to do the full 17, of course.
16 of 17, so not long to go, and will Lee Thompson be able to hold on? Because
I just saw Lee Thompson at the bottom of the hill there. Lee Thompson has gone off at turn number 4. That's Formato coming through to inherit the lead. There's Cooper coming to battle for second. Thompson's got a massive problem. The back end of that Mini is all over the place, and Thompson is in huge trouble. He just lost 2nd place to Cooper.
Well, is it the tires? We know how good these new Bridgestone tires are, so I doubt that. And in these wet conditions, you wouldn't get any kind of problems with the tires, so I have no idea what it is. But it looks like Formato's going to win this.
Yeah, he was definitely settling for 2nd place, but he stayed in it, and it's going to be a very comfortable 1st place. But a surprise of the day for me in the Class T's has been Cooper. Cooper incredibly consistent, and Michael Stephen right there, and it looks like Gennaro Bonafide, even though he bridged the gap, got his way through traffic that slowed down our race leader, Gennaro Bonafide, in the first of the Sattel Audis, just coming down the hill there to pass the Ford, is going to have to settle for the 2 spot, but he'll still be happy with that.
Well, I like your point on Ryan Cooper, because this will be his highest finish so far. He's had a third. Oh, my word!
That was just a bit of showboating there. Gennaro Bonafide lighting it up, putting some Quattro style on the line to take the 2 spot, and literally at the same time as the flag came out, Formato gets his win ahead of Cooper and the Chevy of Van Rooyen.
Confirmation it is. Michael Stephen, the reigning champion. Gennaro Bonafide, Henny Groenewold, Simon Moss, and Johan Verriet.
Now, we've said earlier on that he could drive on the wet, and he had to prove that again today. A fantastic second.
No, thanks, Steve. It's, from 5th on the grid to 2nd. Obviously, with the BMs out, it was a bit easier, but the conditions out there were treacherous. This track is a short, little, nimble track, and we were sideways all over the place.
Michael Stephen, our reigning champion, finally gets his mark on the door. Fantastic drive.
Yeah, thanks very much. Race 1 was a bit difficult. We're lacking a bit of power. But yeah, in the rain, that doesn't really count so much. And we managed to just go out there, get into the lead, pull a lead, and then control it.
Best man on the day and taking the overall and leading the points heading down to round number 2. Bonafide on 28 points. 2 points back is Michael Stephen and Groenewold in 3rd.
So let's get confirmation of the Class T results in race number 2. Gary Formato, outstanding, a race win for him. Ryan Cooper, his highest finish yet. Michael Van Rooyen in the cruise in 3rd and a podium position. Graham Nathan, Lee Thompson, Ryan Rood, and Sean Duminy penalised at the back.
17 laps of the Bridgestone Production Car Championship, and the man that's come really with all the bad news that they had throughout the entire day. Did it for fun, really, but my goodness, it was slippery out there.
No, it was. Look, it was quite difficult. The conditions were a lot worse than I thought they'd be. But the car, you don't know how to choose the setup for the rain. Is it going to stop? It stopped in previous races, but it was good. Look, the Mini was very quick. Lee was quick in the rain as well and did a great job. And their cars are very good on the brakes in comparison to ours. But I don't know what happened. He made a mistake twice in the last lap. I don't know if he had an issue with the car. But it was a good race. I mean, you just had to be patient. You could only go as fast as your car would allow you to go. Anything more and you were off the road.
An outstanding second today in Class T. You must be out, I don't know, just over the moon.
Yeah, I'm very happy with the results. We had problems this weekend with the car misfiring Friday, the whole day today. So when I saw the rain coming, I was quite pleased that I know that I would need all the power on the car. And everything came together quite fine. So yeah, I'm really happy with the results.
So Graham Nathan, the most consistent driver on the day at round number 1, leads on 24 points. Van Rooyen on 23. Cooper sits in 3rd place on 21.